This story entitled The Other Man is about this other man in this woman's life. A man was on his way home one evening after being out all day in search of a job. As soon as he was nearing his house, he could smell the aroma of some well seasoned steak coming directly from his house. He immediately got very angry, then suddenly increased the pace of his strides. As soon as he got to the front door of his house, he yelled out to his wife, "Blender, I want you to tell me where the hell did you get that money from to buy that piece of steak you're cooking? Because I'm darn sure I didn't leave you any money this morning." As soon as he got inside, he started to fuss with her, calling her all sorts of names and accusing her of taking money from some other man. His poor wife just stood there by the stove, speechless for a moment. She later replied, "You're right, honey. But what was I supposed to do?" The man blurted out, "What the hell you just said?" and clenched his fist to strike her. The frightened lady said, Wait, honey, let me tell you the entire truth. You see, there's this man I met a few years ago. He was the one who actually gave me this money. He told me that if I'm ever in need of anything, I could always count on him and would be there to help me. So when I called him and told him that we were struggling, he was willing to help us with a few dollars. Upon hearing this, the angry husband's pride got the better of him. He immediately grabbed the steaming frying pan from the fire and tossed it out the window. "I don't want any man feeling sorry for me or pitying me," he shouted. As he raised his hands and moved towards her to strike her, he accidentally slid and fell in some of the grease that had splattered across the floor when he yanked the pot from the stove in anger. As he lay there on the floor crying for his back, his wife bent over him and softly whispered, "I see that you hate the other man called Jesus so badly to the point where you'd rather hurt yourself than allowing him to help us. You see, I've been praying for so long to get the money to fix your piece of steak that I know you have been yearning for so long. And this other man named Jesus sent you your own sister, whom you haven't seen for so long, with some money." The sister, who was taking a shower, finally entered the kitchen totally unaware of all that was taking place. When he saw her, he couldn't do anything other than lay there speechless. She said, "What's the matter, my brother?" "Only God knows what have come over me," he replied. He then turned to his wife and said, "I'm sorry, hon. Please forgive me."